Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a monarch who didn't just wear the crown, but reshaped an entire nation. We're talking about Queen Victoria. Her reign was so long and so impactful that it got its own name, the Victorian era. But how did one woman oversee such a seismic shift in British history? Let's find out. When Victoria came to the throne in 1837, she was just 18 years old. Britain was a powerful nation, but it was on the cusp of immense change. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing. Cities were exploding in size, and new ideas about society, politics, and science were bubbling up everywhere. People probably looked at this young, relatively inexperienced queen and wondered if she was up to the task. Well, she proved them all wrong. One of the first things to understand about Victoria is her influence on the monarchy itself. Before her, the monarchy was often seen as extravagant and detached. Victoria, especially with her husband Prince Albert, championed a different image. They presented themselves as a model family, devoted to each other, their children, and their duties. This focus on family values, morality, and hard work resonated deeply with the rising middle class. The monarchy became a symbol of stability and respectability in a rapidly changing world. It wasn't about absolute power anymore. It was about moral leadership. And talk about change! The Victorian era was a whirlwind of innovation. Think about it. The first postage stamps, the first underground railway, the widespread use of electricity, the telephone. Life was transforming at a dizzying pace. While Victoria didn't invent these things herself, her reign provided the stability and confidence that allowed this spirit of progress to flourish. The Great Exhibition of 1851, masterminded by Prince Albert, was a perfect example. Housed in the magnificent Crystal Palace, it showcased industrial wonders from around the world and proudly declared Britain as the workshop of the world. It was a massive success and a huge source of national pride, all happening under Victoria's watchful eye. Her reign also saw the British Empire expand to its greatest extent. At its peak, the empire covered about a quarter of the Earth's surface. Victoria became the Empress of India in 1876. A title that solidified her image as a global ruler. This imperial expansion is a complex and often controversial part of her legacy, bringing immense wealth and power to Britain but also involving conquest and colonial rule. It's a crucial part of the story, showing how Britain's influence, for better or worse, spread across the globe during her time on the throne. But Victoria's life wasn't just about politics and progress. It was also deeply personal, and her personal life had a massive public impact. Her marriage to Prince Albert was a true love story. He was her closest advisor and confidant. His death in 1861 was a devastating blow. Victoria was plunged into a deep state of mourning and withdrew from public life for many years. She wore black for the rest of her life, earning her the nickname the Widow of Windsor. This period of seclusion actually threatened the monarchy for a time. People began to question the value of a sovereign who was never seen. But eventually, with the encouragement of her ministers, she slowly returned to her public duties. Her reappearance was met with huge public affection. She had transformed from a young queen into a grandmotherly figure, the matriarch of the nation and indeed, of Europe, as her children and grandchildren married into royal families across the continent. When Victoria died in 1901, she had been on the throne for nearly 64 years, the longest reign in British history at that time. The world she left behind was almost unrecognizable from the one she had inherited. Britain was an industrial powerhouse, a global empire, and a society with a completely different sense of itself. She had overseen enormous social reforms, from new labor laws that protected workers to expansions in voting rights that gave more people a say in their government. So how did she change Britain forever? Victoria redefined the monarchy, turning it from a seat of political power into a symbol of national identity and moral character. Her long reign provided the stability for unprecedented industrial, scientific, and social change to take place. She became the face of an era and the symbol of a global empire. Her personal story of love, loss, and duty captured the hearts of her people and shaped public perception of the crown for generations to come. She wasn't just a queen who lived through an era of change. She was the queen who became synonymous with it. Thanks so much for watching. What part of Victoria's reign do you find most fascinating? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.